From an entire continent to a slew of bosses, old school RuneScape has expanded the world of Gielinor a lot over its decade-long life, and I'm here to see all of it. From a fresh main account, we're gonna complete every quest, and fight every boss, and hopefully get rich while doing so. This is Building a Main, Old School Edition. Last episode, we got a bunch of melee gear upgrades and finished off with some melee training over at Sandcrabs to get us up to 60 attack, 70 strength, and 60 defense. That'll come into play later in the episode, but we're kicking off this episode with some agility training, and this is for two reasons. One, I want the graceful outfit. I'm kind of fed up of running around with no energy. And two, we need to get onto the Apatol agility course to do Recipe for Disaster. And running around the Canifis agility course a few hundred times is going to achieve both of those, so that's exactly what we did. Main benefit being these Marks of Grace, which we've saved up 66 of in this process. But we need a lot more to get our full graceful outfit, so I'm probably going to stay at this course, because this course is one of the best ways to get Marks of Grace. But once we get 48, I'm going to be swapping over to training thieving, because I need to get up to 53 thieving, so it's going to be over to some stool thieving shortly. But this obstacle should be 48 agility, which means we can now access the Ape Atoll agility course. So to get up to 25 thieving, we're going to steal some silks. This won't take that long at all, and we can just sell these on the GE, to be honest, because they sell for over double than they do to the merchant. And yeah, hopefully one inventory will get us to 25, and then we'll be heading over to Korend. However, for some reason, before the Hosidius clan will let you steal from their stores, you need to push their plows a bit to get some favor. So we're working on getting up to 20% Hosidius favors so we can steal from them. There we go, 20% Hosidius favor done, and I was slightly wrong. I only needed 15%, but we got the 20% done anyway, so let's head over to the fruit stool. Okay, so I finally learned how to use menu entry swapper in order to actually swap all the left clicks of the fruits I don't want to keep to drop, and then the left clicks of the fruits I do want to keep to use. So I'm keeping the strange fruits and the fruit tops because they both sell for nearly a K a pop, and right now money is helpful. And we do need to go all the way to 53, and because of my wrist problems, I'm not going to be doing blackjacking to get to 53. I'm probably just going to stay at the fruit stools. To elaborate here, I actually get pretty bad RSI in both my wrists, and my day job is a software engineer. So my wrists are incredibly valuable to me, and in order to protect them, I will avoid doing methods like blackjacking and free tick mining that are just a bit too click intensive. It'll slow me down a bit with some of the grinds, but keeping my wrists intact and keeping my day job, higher priority. And on the note of high priorities, our bank value is starting to look pretty bad, so I went over and did 15 runs of Wintertodt to get some crates and see if I could build up our cash deck again. And we also happened to get a bit more good luck with this run. I got the boots. That is a bunch of good crates for me. I can already see the hate for getting the full outfit in a mere 50 KC. But I'll take it. As for what this money is going towards, we recently passed 32 farming just by keeping up with tree runs, and this has unlocked us the ability to plant ranars. Now these are the first herb that give real good profit when farming. However, the seeds are a bit expensive at 20k a pop, so we needed an initial cash stack to pick up some seeds. However, the herbs themselves sell for like 6k a pop, so we'll easily make this back and more. And just keeping up with herb runs every hour is how we're going to be making a lot of our early game money. Okay, that is our first Ranar run done. We got up to 25 grimy Ranars. Unfortunately, one patch died. We were using Ultra Compost, but we made about 65k profit off those. We'll go chuck them in the G and try and slow sell them, get as much out of them as we can. Basically, we just need enough to sell that we can buy more Ranar seeds next hour. Well, that's about 2,500 casts of Fire Strike at the Lesser Demon. Got a fair bit of loot, actually. This is a not unreasonably profitable method. Unfortunately, I did one cast too many, and now I don't have enough air runes to teleport to Varrock. And one of the secrets to early game RuneScape I find is just to do methods that make you even a little bit of cash. Maybe you lose a little bit of XP per hour, but if you also make gold while doing it, then that little bit of gold starts adding up a lot. As you can see, we picked up like 50k off of just training on that demon instead of splashing on a seagull. So we're now sitting at like 240k, and we're about to go do a Ranarr run and make even more money. That said, the Ranarr runs and other herb runs in general are definitely going to be a mainstay of our income for quite a while. There's nothing really at this stage of the game that can compete with the sheer amount of profit we make in like the 5-minute herb run every hour. 40 Ranarr, that's 240k, 100k for the seeds, 140k profit for just one Ranarr run. It's probably something I'll get tired of eventually, but right now, the nostalgia of doing farm runs to make some pretty good profit, it's bringing it all back. Also, the amount of times I use this to go to the Grand Exchange, I need to complete the medium Varrock diary and just get this redirected teleport ASAP. So we'll probably work on that after RFD. So, in order to do the family crest, we need to be able to cast all of the blast spells, which requires 59 magic. Earlier I tested out fire blasting the demon in the wizard's tower, and while there was some profit to it, one thing I found that was actually quite a bit better was enchanting emerald rings into rings of dueling. You can slow buy and slow sell all of this stuff and make pretty decent profit while also getting some pretty nice XP rates. And if you want the XP rates to be even faster, you can spam the enchant spell instead of letting it tick over automagically. And with this inventory, we're about to hit 55 magic, which gives us high alchemy, which is now going to be our best way of training magic. So I'm going to finish up these last few emerald rings, and then I'm going to swap over to high alching some things. Just got done with yet another Ranarr run, and we're up to 500k cash. Farming is pretty strong early game for money, to be honest. You only need 32 to start doing Ranarr runs, but I'm going to keep leveling it up, doing some tree runs as well. And as expected, I've been trying to buy a single black dehyde body for quite a while. I'm assuming since they're pretty good alks, they're just really hard to buy and probably don't go for mid very often. So I'll leave it in there for a while just to see how long it takes to get, but might have to pick a different item to alk. I'm pretty sure the farmers set up a protection racket because when I was growing oaks, I paid to protect them all. When I got to willows, I didn't pay to protect any of them. And all 5 died. Thank you, RuneLight, for letting me know that my Varrock one is dead even though I've not yet checked on it. Yep, it's dead. I'm gonna go get some apples or whatever you use to protect willows because this is not really sustainable. We did eventually find a good price for buying black dehyde bodies, about 7,200 gold, which means we're making about 700 GP profit per alk, which is very nice. It's just a shame about the 70 buy limit, although I imagine if the 70 buy limit didn't exist, then these would not be so cheap compared to their alk value. As for how I'm finding things to alk, there's a website called alchmate.com and it has a little old school high alk section. And most of the items under the stable pricing section have been excellent alk so far. And here we go, 59 magic. It's a lot less special without the text pop-up, but the text pop-up interrupts whatever you're doing, so it's really annoying, so I have it turned off. But there we go, 59 magic. That's the level we need to cast all the blast spells and therefore do Family Crest. I am pretty sure I want to get up to like 70 magic to actually start using it in combat, but for now 59 will do for questing. And here we go, 52 thieving done. Now we are 13k away from 53, which is enough for the feud to get us all the way there. So we're going to leave thieving there until we do the feud. And let's go sell for our fruit. Now for the biggest requirement of Recipe for Disaster. You need to get up to 70 cooking, which is boostable and is only needed for one of the dishes, so we're not going to go all the way there. But we're going to kick this off with cooking some pike and salmon over at the Rogue's Den. This got us up to 35 cooking, which is where the real fun can begin by doing jugs of wine. These are incredibly cheap and incredibly fast. You just throw grapes in a jug of water and chuck it in your bank and repeat. But it comes with massive XP drops whenever a fermentation cycle ticks over, and this ended up getting us all the way to 67 cooking, admittedly for a cost of about 300k, but it was so quick that there's just barely anything to show you. We're already done. Next order of business is getting up to 50 free fishing, which we're going to do basically exclusively via fly fishing. However, skills aren't the only requirement for Recipe for Disaster. There's a huge list of prerequisite quests, as well as a quest point requirement to fight the final boss. So it was time to get on with a big old quest grind. Starting that off with Death Plateau. Now we can make claws and got free K attack XP, but most importantly that was a requirement, so that we could do Troll Stronghold. After this, I attempted to do Temple of Ikov at a mere 20 range instead of the 40 recommended range so that you can actually shoot the ice arrows with a U or better bow. There is a little trick here, where if you have the ice arrows equipped and you use a thrown weapon, you can actually damage the fire warrior without needing to shoot the arrows specifically. This allows you to do the quest at lower range levels. However, 20 range with miffed darts may have been a little bit ambitious, and my pitiful attempts to learn prayer flicking on the fly didn't manage to get me through the fight, so it was time to go and get some range levels. The classic quest that everyone goes to when they need early range XP is Shadow of the Storm. However, that requires us to first take on Demon Slayer and then the Golem before we can finally get on with Shadow of the Storm by proving ourselves as super evil to Evil Dave, helping a demon get back to Infernus before yoinking him back into our realm just to kill him. There we go, big ranged XP drop, 30 ranged, perfect. And Shadow of the Storm is done, so now grab some Addy Darts and try again with Temple of Ikov, because Myth Darts did not work. Well, it wasn't exactly quick, but Addy Darts made much better work of this guy than the Mithril Darts did, and bringing a prayer potion didn't hurt either. However, Temple of Ikov is done. Big ranged, big fletching XP. Up to 36 range. Slowly getting there. Slowly getting there. Now we need to do the dig site next, which requires 10 herb lore. So I need to do druidic ritual. Jump up rocks. Wait. Is there an eagle path to the Tavali dungeon? Those look like eagle nests. Well, you need agility level 70 to go up there, so I guess I won't know for now. Wait, why would there be an eagle down under there? That doesn't make any sense. But what would have made those nests? Here we go. Herb lore unlocked and leveled up to level 3. So I need to get 3 of these. 1 for Jungle Potion, 1 for Zogger Flesh Eaters, 1 for Legends Quest. I wonder if the same thing works in old school as OSRS, where you can just keep spam clicking it and it'll find it quicker. Don't think so. Just have to be patient. Very patient? Come on, man, you can find you can find a herb in there. Why is it taking so long? This is actually taking forever. What the? Might take 5 minutes. These look less like ogres and more like orcs. Any day now. At least recruitment drive is going to be quicker than this. And can we just find this herb, please? There we go. Thank you. Anyway, there we go. That is Jungle Potion done. Up to 9 herb lore. And now we'll go head over to Falador to do recruitment drive. But before we do that, we first need to gender swap into a female character. Oh, recruitment drive needs you to finish Black Knight's Fortress. Okay, that's different. Be careful not to eat it. I have definitely done that before. What a bad view for Oziak. Like, just a giant mound of dirt straight outside his front door. 2.5k? That's not bad. I've almost done a third of the quests, and I feel like I've barely scratched the surface. Did they change this? Did they change recruitment drive to not require you to be a female anymore? There we go, recruitment drive done. That is insanely quick with Quest Helper. And with our herb lore requirement out of the way, we get to the quest that teaches you it's okay to cheat at exams and blow up archaeological digs as long as you get results. There's 15,000 mining XP and 2k herb lore XP. You know, he actually had me kill people in order to sell me stuff. Capitalism at its finest. So with all those out of the way, it's time to take on the second of the big 3 requirements for RFD, that being Desert Treasure. This quest has you setting up these magical mirrors in order to track down 4 diamonds, with each diamond representing one of the ancient elements of smoke, shadow, blood, and ice. Starting off with the smoke diamond, this sends you to the smoke dungeon near Polnivich, and to enter this you can use the gas mask that you used in either Biohazard or Plague City. And all you've got to do here is go to all 4 corners of the dungeon and light these torches. This unlocks the chest in the middle of the dungeon, which contains the key to the boss room. As for the boss itself, there's no specific mechanics here really, other than the requirement of ice gloves to wield a weapon. However, I just cast Water Blast with my bare hands, so not a problem at all. And that gives us the first of the 4 diamonds. Now, remember to go and bank these pretty quickly unless you want to get a guy to come randomly try and kill you. Now for the Shadow Diamond. This one requires you to come speak to this shady merchant near the waterfall and go and retrieve a cross from him from this chest in the desert. Now this chest has a bit of a reputation for absolutely going through hundreds of lockpicks, depending on your luck. For us, it took a couple. And then once you've traded in the cross for the Ring of Visibility, this ladder from the Shadow Realm appears and you can drop down into it into the Shadow Dungeon. I don't actually know if this dungeon has a specific name, but down here you will find a boss called Demis. And there's no specific mechanic with this guy, you just kind of want to safe spot him and use the best spell you can. If you do decide to tank him, just be aware that in his second phase, he will drain your prayer like crazy. However, once you defeat both forms of him, he drops you the Shadow Diamond. Once again, go and bank it before you get ganked. Moving on to the Blood Diamond, we're going to help out this totally not shifty vampire deal with a little problem he's got, named Desus. You need a silver and garlic mix, which for some reason had to use our own blood. I'm not really sure if that was required or if the vampire's just a bit of a dick. And then you go slather it all over this guy's tomb, and he comes up and tells you to get off his lawn. Instead, you kill him and find out that he indeed does not have the Blood Diamond. So you go back to the shifty vampire, who gives you the diamond as a thank you for going and desecrating someone else's tomb. Great. And finally, the Ice Diamond, which requires you to fight a bunch of trolls in this frozen hellscape that gives you absolutely no run energy and drains your stats constantly, so if your plan was to use a spell that you literally only just have the level for, you're in for a really bad surprise, and that's kind of the situation I was in. So coming back with a lower tier fire spell, we take on Camel, who can only be damaged by fire spells, and who is for some reason able to accurately hit with ancient spells while wearing full plate armor. Then again, players do it all the time to abuse a weird quirk of magic accuracy, so what's wrong with an NPC being able to do it too? And then, after face planting our way up this icy path, we free the parents of a troll child who helped us out in the first place, only to find out that he had the diamond all along and just wanted to see his mummy and daddy. Fair play, kid. So, now that we've got all 4 diamonds, we return them to this pyramid in the desert and proceed to run through it, hoping not to randomly get dumped outside. Honestly, I have no idea how to prevent yourself getting dumped outside. There's a million and one different suggestions, and I don't know which one of them are true. However, once you get to the center and free Aznadra from his prison, you get a bunch of magic XP and the ability to use ancient magics. Let's just hope that Aznadra guy doesn't cause trouble for us later. And now, I guess I should finally deliver on that teaser from the end of last episode. With 60 attack and 70 strength, we have 130 combined attack and strength, which allows us entry to the Warriors Guild. This place houses the Cyclopses that drop the Defenders, all the way up to a Dragon Defender. This is almost the best in slot offhand for melee, just behind the Avernic Defender. The one thing that's for certain is we want the Dragon Defender, so we're going to need to go fight Cyclopses. In order to fight Cyclopses, you need to get Warrior Guild tokens, and in order to do that, you need to reanimate armor sets and kill them. Over and over and over again. I started off with the Mithril armor set, but I later found out that black is a better choice because it has much lower defense and a better HP to token ratio. Once you have a decent number of tokens, you can go upstairs and pay 10 tokens per minute to fight Cyclopses. These Cyclopses have a 1 in 50 chance to drop a defender. They start off by dropping a bronze defender and go all the way up to a rune defender. Each time you get a defender, make sure to leave the room and show it to the lady outside so that the Cyclopses start dropping the next tier.
ourselves, we won't let the world burn away, burn away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake it through the back of the pack, kill it anyway. To blame, haters face the world's mistakes. Wake it through the back of the pack, kill it anyway.
So all the way up to the Rune Defender, we went pretty on rate for drops. We took us 350 to get the Rune Defender. For the Dragon Defender, we weren't so lucky.
We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake it through the back of the pack, kill it anyway.
There it is, one Dragon Defender. Job done, and I'm almost dead. But job done, Dragon Defender obtained. Next up, Pharaoh's Gloves.